Hey there friends, thanks for checking in. Today we're going to do a size, weight, and feature comparison with the Glock 36 versus the new M&P 45 Shield. A lot of people have been asking about it, so I hope to deliver that with this video. Let's start with the price. The Glock 36, on average, right around 540 bucks, and that's pretty common with Glock. That's a standard price range for a brand new Glock. The 45 Shield is a little bit cheaper on average. You know, when I check Gunbroker, we're looking at about 450 bucks. So we're looking at about a $90 difference with the Glock being more expensive. But let's look at some of the features. We'll start with the Glock here. Here we have standard Glock 36, not altered any which way. One of the things that makes this different is that it does have an accessory rail that is new. Only a couple months ago, they added that. Nice touch. You know, people like their lights and lasers and accessories. So, you know, it's good to see Glock making that change. Here we have the exact same sights. People either love them or hate them. But a lot of aftermarket parts to change stuff out. And that's where Glock is going to, you know, excel more than any other handgun out there that I'm aware of, because there are just so many alterations you could do with your Glock gun. Standard finger grooves, stippling on the grip, not a bad feel at all. It does feel thick, but that also is standard with Glock. Holds 6 rounds, 45 ACP. And when we look at, well, I'll keep that mag out. We look at the trigger pull. Glock says 5.5 pounds. You know, when I measure it, it's over 6, but you know what? It is what it is. Nice trigger pull. Does have the trigger bar in there. And then your reset is right there for follow-up shots. Glock has, you know, some real nice trigger action, and the follow-up shots are really nice with Glock. Not a bad gun at all. I would carry the Glock 36 with confidence, no question about it. Here we look at the 45 Shield, and it essentially models the original 9mm and 40 Shield. Exact same look to it, with the exception of the grip, which adds more texturing all around the grip. I'm sure that is to get a better grip on the gun as you shoot the 45 with more recoil, more energy, heading down range. No accessory rail here. It also has a 6-round magazine and comes with a 7-round magazine as well. Both have 2 magazines in the box. And I will also mention that Glock has a hard case, as where the M&P has a soft case. But all that aside, here we have a thumb safety. Now, they also make without the thumb safety. I haven't seen that on the market yet. I'm sure it'll be coming out soon, if not already. 3-dot sights. Does have a sight hole indicator there for your loaded rounds. And the trigger is a hinged trigger. I'll go ahead and ensure this gun is unloaded. Here we have a hinged trigger. It feels the exact same to me as the original Shield. And I'm calling it the original Shield because, you know, it's been around a little bit longer. The 45 Shield models that very much. It does have the fish scale like serrations and also some serrations in the front of the slide. But all indications in my experiences with this 45 Shield has been very good. I mean, it's a nice gun. And I tell you what, I think M&P or Smith & Wesson did a nice job. Let's do a quick size comparison here. We'll look at the slide length, a little bit longer on the Glock, almost an inch there. And the grip length and thickness. Now, this is where the concealed carry market is going to be interested in the Shield. It's just a thinner grip. Makes it a little bit easier, especially, you know, if you carry on the hip. But the one thing I do want to mention, when we look at the slide width, it looks like the Glock is a lot thicker, but in reality it's not. The edges are not as rounded off as the 45 Shield, so it looks a lot thicker, but the difference is minimal. Let's load them up. We'll get them on the scale, take a look at the weight differences. Here we have the Glock 36, 6 rounds in the magazine, no round in the chamber, weighing in exactly 27 ounces. And with the 45 Shield, same condition, 6 rounds in the mag, no round in the chamber. Here we are, 27 3/8 ounces. So essentially the same weight for both of these guns. All right, so I brought out my trigger scale here. Let's take a closer look at these triggers. We'll start with the Glock here. Instead of taking my word for it, we'll go ahead. I have to keep my finger on that trigger bar. Glock says 5.5 pounds, and I'm showing 7.5. And that's pretty consistent with the Glocks that I've measured. So I'm not sure where they come up with that 5.5 pounds. And now we'll take a look at the 45 shield trigger. Put it right on that hinge, lower part of the trigger. We pull back, and we're looking at 5.5 pounds with the shield trigger. So it is quite a bit lighter. You know, trigger poundage is a funny thing. People get worked up on the trigger pound. You know, when you're just a couple pounds off, it really doesn't make a difference. When you're shooting, many people won't even recognize the difference, especially with a 45 ACP. Overall, I have to say that both these 45 subcompact handguns are excellent, and I would carry either of them without reservation. There's something about this Glock 36 that I really like. I can't put my finger on it. I think that, you know, the reliability of it, the subcompactness of it for a Glock is very good. The thickness doesn't scare me. The aftermarket accessories are there. And I like the gun. Now, the finger grooves I could do without, but I could also live with. So for a range gun, home defense, I would take the Glock 36. If I were going to carry either of these guns on a day-to-day basis, I would choose the 45 Shield. It's just a little thinner in the grip, making it for a little more comfortable carry. Very reliable as well. You wouldn't miss out on the reliability, and overall the features on this work excellent as a carry gun. Can't make a bad choice either way, guys. That's just the way I would put it. If you like videos like this, please subscribe and share. I always appreciate the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching, and you guys be safe.